Hey, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for you. Going to talk about the latest Guy Ritchie film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Now, given that this is based on a true story, we will say loosely, and kind of based on a book, although they said they really didn't base it on the book, it's an unwieldy title. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Conduct. I had even had to kind of double check and spell check it when I was doing this podcast. Make sure I got it right. I don't know. You could have named it something easier. I again, tying it into the book, tying it into maybe the operation that it was named after. Anyway, this is a supposedly based on a true story from Guy Ritchie. So that tells you how much is probably true. But it is a lot of fun. It's based on Winston Churchill basically creating the first Special Forces unit. That's the gist of it. These guys are tasked with an almost impossible task, and they can't, admit who they're doing it for or anything. And it's right, it's a crux of the matter. Well, in real life, this operation gave birth to special forces that we have today. In a Guy Ritchie movie, it is a plot point that makes you have a blast killing Nazis for 2 hours. I really had a low bar set for this, knowing the movie had a $60 million budget, didn't even make $30 million at the box office. Finally picked it up on 4K because the reviews were just through the roof. Critics liked this movie, public liked this movie. It just didn't make any money. So I popped it in, and within the first 7 minutes, the opening scene with Henry Cavill, I was all in. I laughed out loud. It was funny. It was exciting. It was what I wanted in an escapist kind of movie. And in the end, the fact that there are some ties to the real story of what happened, I'm fine with it being a Guy Ritchie over the top, overblown, and probably, do we really have silencers for machine guns back then? Did we? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Didn't before the review. But anyway, it's a very, very fun movie, whether it's based on a true story or not. Some of my friends really liked it because it was based on a true story. For me, again, it was Guy Ritchie doing what Guy Ritchie does best. The last movie I really enjoyed from him was The Gentleman. Now, he's made several since then and before that I just thought were entertaining, but were gone as soon as they were over. The Wrath of Man and a few others were just well written, well done, well executed, but didn't stick with me. I've gone back and watched like his Sherlock Holmes movies. They weren't as good as we all thought they were, I don't think. But his Man from U.N.C.L.E. I thought was underrated and pretty good. So I have a hit or miss with Guy Ritchie kind of thing. Some of his movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. Others of his are just forgettable movies in my collection that I have to go, oh yeah, Guy Ritchie directed that. But this one's going to stick with me. I have thought about it repeatedly over the weekend. Also, a funny thing that Jerry Bruckheimer produced this movie and produced the other movie I watched over the weekend, Bad Boys Ride or Die, which, again, I thought was the best of the 4 Bad Boys movies. I don't think this is the best movie of the year, but it's going to wind up in my top 10 because from beginning to end, it felt like the director, the writer, the cast, and everybody was having a blast making the movie. Even the bad guys were having a blast playing the bad guys. The opening scene is Henry Cavill and a couple of the characters on a ship, and they basically, get attacked by Germans, and they laugh and they take them out. And the joy that those scenes involve. The director is having fun shooting the movie. The director of photography is having fun shooting the movie. The special effects people, because there's a lot of practical effects of gunfire and blood and all that kind of stuff. It just like everybody contributed to making a very, very fun movie. The overall feel of the movie is almost one of those World War II adventure movies they don't make anymore, like they made in the 70s, with the sly wink and the team behind the enemy lines doing things that we shouldn't be doing. But it has that modern wink as well. And I don't know, Guy Ritchie, like I said, some of his movies are wonderful. Some of his movies are just okay. This one goes into the top tier of Guy Ritchie movies that he's done. I'm just shocked it didn't make money. Maybe it will on home video. Some friends of mine are trying to find it on streaming, and it's still on a premium price, I guess because it didn't make money. It played in theaters in April, made $27 million on a $60 million budget, came out on home video in July, and Amazon is even putting the home video on sale. They had an exclusive steelbook and put it on sale. These steelbooks don't go on sale. They usually sell out, but this one didn't, and I was able to pick it up a lot cheaper than they wanted because they wanted an extravagant price when it was new. Anyway, long story short, if you're into a World War II vibe, you don't wince at a lot of violence, and you like the tongue-in-cheek nature of a Guy Ritchie movie, I think this is the perfect opportunity to get into one of his action comedies. This is a really fun film that pretty much anybody, They're taking out Nazis. Who's going to complain about that? A lot of fun. I think Henry Cavill is having a blast. Alan Ritchson from the Reacher show, I think he's also having a blast in this movie. Everybody. People I didn't expect to be in the movie, like Carrie Elways is in this movie. Isa Gonzalez from many movies like Baby Driver. She's fantastic in the movie. I mean, really good in the movie. The guy who plays the German bad guy, fantastic. He's always a great German bad guy. I don't want to get into spoilers because really the part of the fun of the movie is the surprise and how it kind of plays with the timeline, and it jumps back and forth a little bit. And it's exciting and it's fun, and all the budget is up on the screen. So gets one of my highest recommendations of the year. It's one of those World War II adventure movies that they don't make anymore, of a team going behind enemy lines to do something with a wink and a nudge, and you know they're going to win in the end. Guy Ritchie knocked it out of the park. I think the entire cast does a great job. I'm surprised it didn't make enough money. Check it out. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is available on home video, 4K, Blu-ray. There might be a DVD out there, and it should be on streaming services soon, I would think. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. You might too. Let me know. Put it in the comments below. Matter of fact, if you're interested in what's below, you can support the channel. There's all sorts of links for that. And I have several podcasts coming this week. So thank you for listening and have a spectacular day.